Hi there, Vladimir here, with another video about how to learn a foreign language. Is it learn a foreign language, or study a foreign language, or acquire a foreign language? Some people are really hung up on making a clear distinction between these three verbs. I'm not one of those people. Neither is Longman Dictionary. Longman's definition of the verb to study is to learn
about a subject at school, university, etc.
And the first example sentence is
I've been studying English for 6 years.
Longman's definition of the verb to learn is
to gain knowledge of a subject or skill by experience,
by studying it,
or by being taught.
And the first example sentence is
what's the best way to learn a language?
Longman's definition of acquire is
to gain knowledge or
learn
a skill.
So as you can see, the definitions of all three verbs overlap quite a bit. And it's not just Longman. Collins Dictionary's definition of the verb to study is
if you study, you spend time
learning
about a particular subject or subjects.
Synonyms of to study down here. Learn. About learn, Collins says
if you learn something, you obtain knowledge or a skill through
studying
or training.
Synonyms of learn.
Master, grasp,
acquire. And Collins' definition of acquire is
if you acquire something such as a skill or a habit,
you learn it
or develop it through your daily life or experience.
Synonyms of acquire. Learn,
pick up, master.
And so we are back where we started. Our foreign languages studied, learned, or acquired. You see, the distinction people want to make is that study is conscious learning, whereas acquire is unconscious learning. The verb learn is somewhere in the middle, but closer to the verb study. Learn and study are usually used interchangeably. So once again, the question today. When we talk about adults, let me repeat that. When talking about adults, are foreign languages studied or acquired? Or in other words, do adults learn languages consciously or unconsciously? We all know that children learn their native language unconsciously. And then they go to school and there they study their native language. We all studied the grammar of our native language, but it was after we were already fluent in it. And so the question is, do adults learn like children? And the answer is no, of course not. You see, as far as I'm concerned, language is knowledge. Language equals knowledge. And vocabulary and grammar are not knowledge. So once again, language equals knowledge. And so we can say that language equals history, language equals physics, language equals programming, language equals medicine, and so on and so forth. And so think of learning a foreign language as learning, say, medicine. To learn medicine, you need to study. Knowledge is first studied and then acquired, gained. We usually say study mathematics, study law, study medicine, or study to become a lawyer, study to become a doctor, a math teacher, etc. There is an initial period of conscious learning or study, which gradually transitions to less conscious learning or acquire. Foreign language learning follows a similar path. The problem is when the initial period, the study period, drags on for too long. We hear people say all the time,
I've been studying French for 5 years,
or
I've been learning Japanese for 9 years.
You remember the example sentence Longman gave with the verb study?
I've been studying English for 6 years.
Years? One of my students told me that she had been studying English for 16 years. Studying what? The English alphabet consists of 26 letters. The English language has 12 verb tenses. 16 years? Study what? We shouldn't use the words study, language, and years in the same sentence, unless you want to be a linguist. Mind you, I'm not saying that you shouldn't study. No, not at all. Learning a foreign language as an adult does not happen unconsciously. Adults don't learn like children. We still need to study consciously, but it shouldn't take years. I say dictionary time equals study time. You see, I don't study language. I use language to get knowledge. For example, I use English to learn history, to learn marketing, to learn how to use programs like, say, Photoshop and Final Cut Pro. Another example, since I live in Japan, I use Japanese to get the latest news, learn about what's happening in the country, in Japan. Another example, I use Russian to learn about the war in Ukraine. I use my foreign languages as tools for getting knowledge, getting information. And every now and then, when I come across a new word in Russian or in Japanese, and occasionally in English, I study. I study the word using dictionary. Dictionaries, monolingual dictionaries. Dictionary time equals study time. But I'm not with the mindset of learning Japanese or Russian. I'm with the mindset of acquiring knowledge through those languages and learning a few words along the way. As a beginner, you'll spend more time with dictionaries, i.e., more time studying. And over time, you will spend less time with those same dictionaries and gradually transition to acquiring the language. You see, language is a tool for getting knowledge. And as I said, vocabulary and grammar are not knowledge. But you still need to spend time learning those words and grammar. Spend time studying. Spend time exerting yourself, using dictionaries, using your brain. You need to study a bit. You need to make an effort. Adults can't acquire foreign language passively, like children, subconsciously. That's why graded readers don't work. Methods like TPRS don't work. This thing called comprehensible input doesn't work. Duolingo and none of that nonsense
such
works.
as TPRS, Blaine Ray's idea.
Correcto. Correcto means yes. Correcto is correct. Correcto.
Correct.
You don't say that, you listen, okay? I say correcto, and then you just listen to what I say. And if I say a statement, then you say, oh, frase, hay una chica.
Señor Taylor está en la esquina en su oficina. Está en la esquina en su oficina. ¿Comprende?
No.
Señor Taylor, ¿es buen hombre o es hombre malo?
Malo.
No.
大丈夫です。じゃあ、西田先生、チョコレートケーキはどうですか？あ、いいえ。じゃあ、チョコレートケーキとバニラケーキはどうですか？まあ、
They dumb things down too much. They use too much translation and do the work for you. You learn a foreign language by making an effort, by looking words up yourself, by using monolingual dictionaries. Dictionary time equals study time. The main focus should always be on the knowledge you want to obtain, but you also need to spend time on any new words you come across. Knowledge first, language second. Everything you need to know about how to learn a foreign language you can find in my book, Virtually Native, which is available on Amazon and virtuallynative.com.
You have one life. Don't waste it.